Oh, grace and peace to you, beloved. We certainly do appreciate you being with us here again on another Word Alive broadcast. This is Bishop Benton coming to you with a word from the Lord. I want to certainly thank God for each one of you. As always, I love when you allow us to stop by and share a word with you and just be able to share with you what's on our hearts. And so we're going to go right into the Word of God on today. And I'm going to share with you coming from the book of Nehemiah, chapter number 6. Verse number 3. I don't have time to read. I don't want to take time rather to go throughout the whole book. Most of us know that Nehemiah used to be a cupbearer in the Shushan palace under the king there, but the Lord has blessed him. He's coming back home now to rebuild the wall of Jerusalem there. And God's using him. I want to say it again. God is using him, just like he is you, to do a great work. And if you don't see the work that you're doing is great, then you will abandon the work and come down and let the enemy get the victory. But I want to say to you today, and I want to share with you simply from the thought, come down for what? Come down for what? In order for you to really grasp and understand what I want to convey to you today, you have to understand that the enemy's intent desire to try to get you to come down, it can only be accomplished if you don't understand where it is that you are and what in God and what it is that you are doing for the work of the Lord that will help you to understand. I cannot come down for what? To deal with you, to confront this issue, to deal with this particular situation. You mean to tell me you're going to let it grieve you that bad? You mean to tell me you're going to let that person, the enemy operating through that person, through that situation, cause you to come down from what God has for you? So let me help you this way, beloved, because first of all, you really got to understand that the enemy wants you to come down from two places. It's your place of victory and your place of destiny. You cannot come down from your place of victory, nor can you come down from your place of destiny. Here in Nehemiah chapter 6, verse 3, Nehemiah understands that where he is, the place in God, as well as this physical place of rebuilding the wall, it's his place of victory in God and his place of destiny on that wall. I'm going to make sure you get it now. It's his place of victory in God and his place of destiny on that wall. He's been called by God to rebuild the wall. That's his assignment. That's his destiny. For him to come down, it would be him coming down from his place of victory and his place of destiny. You cannot afford, beloved, to lose the victory by coming down, abandoning what God has given you to do, abandoning your relationship with God to deal with people, to deal with situations that will cause you to act out of character. You can't afford to do that. You can't come down from your place of victory. As long as you're there, you're victorious, no matter how challenging it may be, no matter how many of your enemies come against you, no matter what they say. If you will stay in that place, it will remain your place of victory and destiny, which is why Jesus says, I can't come down from the cross. Come down for what? To deal with you, Satan? It may appear like I'm in a place of non-victory. It may appear like Jesus being on that cross was a place of defeat, but God knows his destiny. The destiny was not for him to remain on the cross, but for him to be not only let down from that cross, go into the grave, but also to be highly exalted and be seated on the right hand of the Father. So you can't come down from your place of victory. The only way that the enemy gets you to come down, first he has to have you to look down, which is what he wants you to do. Because when you begin looking down, you look down on life, you look down on your ministry, you look down on your family, you look down on your situation. If he can get you to look down, he can get you to come down. So you got to get your eyes off of the ground. Lift up your eye, lift up your head, O ye gates. Lift your eyes unto the hills from which cometh your help. Stop looking down on life. Stop talking down about life. Stop looking down on your family, your friends, whatever the situation may be. Get your eyes off of negativity. Stop looking down. If you keep on looking down, sooner or later you're going to come down. And if he can get you to look down, then he's going to eventually get you to fall down. He wants you to fall from your place that God has exalted you to. Because when you look down, eventually you will fall down. But I read somewhere in the Bible that he's able to keep you from falling and present you faultless before his presence with exceeding joy. And God's will is not for you to fall down before the enemy, bow down before this demonic force, this situation that's coming up against you. Come on, beloved. You don't have to look down so that you will fall down, because if you fall down, beloved, you're going to lay down. And when you lay down, you lose out on what God has for you. Instead of laying down, how about you lay aside every weight and the sin that does so easily beset you, so you can run this race with patience, looking unto Jesus. He is the author and the finisher of your faith. I'm not going to fall down. I'm not going to lay down. I'm not going to look down. Come down for what? I'm not coming down from what God has for me. Now, here is what I need you to get, beloved, as I prepare to wrap this all up. Because Nehemiah tells them, I can't come down. Why should I come down? Why should I allow the work of the Lord to cease to come down for you? You know what I'm doing? I'm in a place in God now where I'm really working on my mind. I'm working on my mind. I'm working on because I want this mind that is in me to also be the mind that was in Christ Jesus. I can't be a double-minded man, because a double-minded man is unstable in all of his ways. So I'm working on my mindset. I want to see myself the same way God sees me. I got to get I got to be transformed by the renewing of my mind. I want my mind to be set on the fact that I am victorious. I want it to be set on the fact that I'm walking out my destiny. Set your mind on things that are above. Set your mind on victorious things, and watch what God will begin to do to you. Stop being double-minded, going to and fro, not sure what you're going to do. Settle it in yourself that you're more than conquerors. Work on your mind. Nehemiah is working on his mindset, because he understands, as a man thinketh, so is he. So he's not going to come down and think defeated. He's going to remain on that wall. Now, you got to continue to work on your mind, beloved. When you're working on your mind, you're working on your ministry. I don't know what your personal ministry is that God has given unto you, but I'm working on my ministry. I know what God has given me to do, to build people's lives. I'm trying to build people's lives, because changed lives prove ministry. I'm going to give it to you again. Changed lives prove ministry. The only proof of ministry actually functioning well in your life is that lives are being changed. Your life is being changed. People's lives connected to you are being changed. Oh, my brother pastor, my sister pastor, your ministry is to change people's lives. God has called you to be a life changer. And when you are working on your ministry, because you've worked on your mind, the enemy will try to get you to come down. He wants you to come down because you're changing people's lives. As long as Nehemiah was on that wall, he was changing Israel's life, the lives of the people there in Israel. He was restoring their confidence in God. And as long as you're working on your ministry, he wants you to come down. And finally, beloved, if he can get you to stop working on your mind, working on your ministry, he'll keep you from working on the master's will. It is the will of God. It is the will of God that you be blessed abundantly, beloved, that above all things you would prosper and be in health, even as your soul prospers. That the master's will is for you to be more than a conqueror through him that has loved you. The master's will is for you to live this life and live it more abundantly. It is the will of God that you represent him in the earth. It is the will of God that you stand for the righteousness of God. Don't let the enemy cause you to come down. It was the will of God that Nehemiah complete that wall. It was the will of God that Nehemiah be victorious. It was the will of God that Nehemiah be more than a conqueror through him that has loved us. And as long as you let the enemy cause you to look down, cause you to fall down, cause you to lay down, because you're not working on your mind, working on your ministry, and working on the master's will, you will never be what God has called you to be. But beloved, we stopped by to tell you that God's got a great blessing for you. We appreciate you. We want you to continue to be blessed of God, because God is doing great and mighty things in your life. We appreciate you, beloved. Thank God for you. I want you to stop by the website, as we always encourage you to do. Stop by, leave your testimonies. We appreciate you sharing with us what God is doing in your life. Thank you so much for the comments, your words of encouragement. We're kind of not coming as much as we used to. The busyness, and then there's just some things. I really want to speak what God has in my heart. I want him to speak to my heart, so his heart will be what I speak to you. And so we thank God for you on the day, beloved. And we want to remind you, as always, whatever you do, stay in the Word, because his Word is alive. Blessings to you.